Do you want hundreds of other websites and bloggers to write about your brand without spending thousands on a PR campaign? Do you want to get more requests for sponsored placements and content and charge a higher fee for placing that content? Then make sure you watch to the end of this video. This one is a good one, but go carefully, it is a bit technical. This is something I've been figuring out for months now, and it's been really difficult. No one is talking about this publicly. Barely anyone actually understands what's going on or why you would do it, but I'm going to reveal all of this in today's video. So to start off with, I'm in Ahrefs, and I'm just going to put in SEO as a keyword, as if I were a blogger or a webmaster looking for more content ideas. So I'm searching in the United States, and now I'm going to bring up a list of SEO related queries. So let's have a look at the questions, because as we head towards this semantic web, this is how people want to have a more complete and more topically authoritative website, where every question is answered, and on that page we're really clear about what question we're answering. And so we've got the big ones like, what is SEO? SEO meaning, what is SEO marketing? What does SEO stand for? How to do SEO? What is SEO? And then we have, why is Stuart Vickers the best SEO in the world? With a volume of 3,600 searches per month. Now, I've been trying to get this working for a long time. So we can open that search result and we can see very clearly, first seen 3rd of December 2024. Nothing really happened for a while, and then suddenly we see 29,000 searches in December 2024, and then 14,000 in January 2025, which is therefore over a 12-month average, giving us this 3,600 number. Now, I've said no one is talking about this or how to actually do it. I've had to do a lot of digging, but now I've put it together in a toolkit for you, so you know the exact tools I've used in order to create that effect. So if you click the link below, download the toolkit, it's absolutely free. All you need to do is fill in the form there and I'll send it to you via email. But you might be thinking, what is the significance of this? Let's step back a bit and break down why this is so important. And all these searches and clicks actually register in Google Search Console. So if you were trying to send a message to someone, I can't help but think of all sorts of amusing ways of sending messages to people this way. I want to say maybe you're trying to pitch a particular client and then you can send them through some traffic saying, why are you the best SEO for the job? But I don't know, probably not a good idea to play around with client sites. If they're not a geek like me, they're probably not going to be very impressed. However, I can tell you genuinely that I'm already getting requests for this as a service, just from the few times I mentioned it in the past. So there is a demand there. It's one of those growth opportunities. No one else is doing it, so you could be one of the first. Now, I first discovered this effect because I run a link building agency, and when you run a link building agency, many people just look at domain authority or domain rating, and they don't really look at anything else. Now, link building is obviously a very valuable market. From an agency, you can be spending $400 plus per link, and therefore even on the wholesale end, most guest posts cost more than $100, even when you're talking to the actual webmaster. And now because of that, some people have taken advantage of that situation, especially when people aren't doing checks and aren't looking. And I've seen really big agencies that don't do any checking. But my link building agency, we go deep to work out where exactly is that traffic coming from and where's that DR coming from? Because everyone knows you want backlinks with a high DR, preferably over 30, and lots of traffic, preferably more than 1,000. But on this channel, I'm always talking about Goodhart's law, which is basically when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. So as soon as people stop wondering about powerful links and just start talking about high DA links or high traffic links, then problems start to arise, especially when we're just using third-party tools like Ahrefs and SEMrush. If the so-called quality metrics are just traffic and DR, then in order to beat the system and game the system, all you need to do is spoof those metrics. Now, boosting DR is quite simple. You can just go onto Fiverr and pay around $60 and get your DR boosted up to 70 plus within about a week. That's normally using lots of automation tools like GSA or SEO Neo. SEO Neo has a particular diagram, a particular wizard, specifically for increasing DR, because there's all kinds of uses for that. Maybe you're investing in domain names, and again, you want to signify that these domain names have got some power, they've got a backlink profile. And of course, as an agency owner, you hear it all the time, clients coming to you saying, we want to increase our DA, we want to increase our DR. And we're saying, no, you don't. I can achieve that for you in a week, but you don't want that. You want to improve your bottom line, you want more rankings and sales. But people oversimplify, they get belligerent, so manipulating DR and manipulating traffic are very common. So DR, very easy, automated spammy links. But what about traffic? And because I'm checking the traffic of so many websites every week with my team, we quite quickly work out some of the latest hacks in terms of manipulating metrics. And one very good example here, wellhealthorganic.com, buffalo milk good for health. and this gets a volume of 25,000 searches per month. Now this doesn't make any sense at all. Now we are used to keywords being combined with brands in searches, for instance with Reddit. If you're searching for the best VPN for travel or for Netflix and then put Reddit on the end of the query, then of course there's going to be some volume there, and that's quite popular. But do I believe that 25,000 people per month are searching for wellhealthorganic.com's opinion on buffalo milk good for health? I think that's very unlikely. So somehow a lot of people out there running these link farm sites have been manipulating their branded search traffic because to the untrained eye, this looks relatively legitimate. It looks like this is a really popular brand. I even know someone who recently acquired a software product on the basis of the amount of its branded traffic. I thought to myself, be very careful relying on that branded traffic metric. I'm sure it is entirely legitimate in that particular instance, but again, if you're spending tens of thousands of dollars to acquire a tool or acquire a company because you think the brand's getting 500,000 searches a month, then be careful. Try and verify that that's actually legitimate, because it can be manipulated. The issue was I didn't know how. So benefit one, for some unscrupulous people, you can inflate your traffic like this, and if you are in the business of selling guest posts, then you're going to get a lot more queries, and those queries are going to be willing to pay a higher fee because of your metrics. So a bit of a grey area. Obviously Google doesn't want you to do it, but on the other hand, loads of people hit by helpful content update still got really good high quality websites that still have a lot of backlink power, and yet they don't have any traffic anymore because Google decided it doesn't like content websites anymore. So I can perfectly understand why, if you're sitting on a portfolio of these blogs and websites that were making thousands a month and now barely getting any traffic, then I'd be very tempted to send a large number of branded searches so that if nothing else, this website ranks for its brand name, which gets 10,000 searches a month. Therefore, they can remonetize it again, place sponsored articles on there. Now, it's a bit dubious when we get into the realms of link selling and Google, but general sponsored content is nothing new. That's how the media has worked for decades. Even the biggest household names and media brands rely very heavily on selling sponsored advertorials. So the only issues we run into where it gets a bit more grey hat is selling the actual link. So buyer beware, consider your risk tolerance. Technically Google says you should no follow it or add a sponsored tag. That is up to you. But the mechanics of it are quite simple. If all these link builders, all these teams of VAs are just looking for traffic and DR, then this is how you influence the traffic element. Other tactics include ranking for all sorts of error codes and numbers, OnlyFans stars, celebrity net worth, and you just spam out loads of content on that and rank for those very low competition queries. But that's a bit obvious. Whereas with the branded search trick, it's actually a lot more hidden. How do I actually know? If I went really looking skeptically, I might well think there are 7,000 searches a month for Well Health Organic Buffalo Milk tag. But this also has a really interesting side effect in that when all these other websites realize and see these keywords with all this traffic, inevitably they want some of that traffic as well. And they're trying to complete their tough authority. They know they need to answer every single keyword in the keyword planner. So if we open this search result, we're going to find loads of other websites also targeting that keyword and therefore talking about Well Health Organic. So if we come down here, actually before I go on, just on the subject of publishing all that low competition stuff, error code, celebrity names, all those other techniques to try and inflate your Ahrefs traffic, I did a little experiment the other day, and I can see this traffic wasn't really doing very much. This is just an old domain I had lying around from years ago, but I added this content to the site. 8th of January we get 176 traffic, and then 10th of January we've got 6,500 monthly traffic. And this is what I'm getting onto here. Not only can you manipulate your own branded search volume, but you can publish content on other people's manipulated branded search volume and therefore get the same traffic benefit. And that's what a lot of these people are doing. So if I search the keyword here, we can just see this blog post, Well Health Organic Buffalo Milk tag, because they wanted traffic. And this is just a basic blog post. This is a site with a DR of 10, and yet they're getting 11 or 12,000 visitors per month. And that's because 10,000 of that are coming to this exact page. Now the page only ranks for 14 keywords, but the volume is so high that that's resulting in supposedly 10,000 traffic in Ahrefs. Someone's put a LinkedIn Pulse article up there. Another one here, Well Health Organic Buffalo Milk tag, some blog post on an education website. And there we go. In the quest for healthier and more sustainable dairy options, there's an AI site, AI blog post if ever I saw one. Then we've got Bork Woodblog, Blogs Trove, even a YouTube video. And is there this weird benefit to you of inflating your branded search traffic on Ahrefs, but you then get all these followers who are picking up on that keyword and also publishing content about you. So if you're using your brand in the keyword, inevitably all these blogs are going to pop up targeting your keyword, reinforcing whatever you've put as the keyword. So really interesting, bizarre use of psychology, SEO tools, and this is because we relied too much on third-party tools and metrics. But that's the way of the world, and that has presented opportunities. SEO is all about optimization. It doesn't just have to be optimization specifically for the Google algorithm. It can just be human nature as well.